Very briefly to start off with, few basic ground rules. Workshop in itself. So what are we planning to do? Well, the main motivation is all of you being students will have to give a lot of presentations in your life. And it's not just about presentations, it's about representing what is on your. To do that, you will need to make sure that you say as much as you can with as little as you need. So for that in particular, one of the things that we're going to focus on is infographics and what infographics can do to help you present the same thing in a better way. So the next thing that we'll just quickly dive into is, so I'll briefly introduce who I am. So very briefly about myself, guys, I'm Kanishk. I've done a bunch of things by now. I will give you a brief introduction about myself. I passed out from BITS Pilani in 2013 in computer science, and my core expertise is actually in technology. I worked as a developer with Amazon for a couple of years, then did an MBA at IIM Ahmedabad. Post that, I've done a lot of things. I did a stint in investment banking. I've tried my own consulting practice as well. But at its core, what I've been doing for the last 2.5 years is drive product for large multinational companies and startups. Currently, I'm working with Make My Trip and driving international hotels. That's mostly about me. The other thing that I do enjoy is long distance running and public speaking as well. And in this particular session, what we're going to cover first is what are infographics.
Okay.
So let's start with the first question, guys. And in this one, at least you can unmute yourself and give us your opinions as well. What do you think infographics are? I think let's take a quick example and maybe that becomes a little better once we understand it. And let me start off with a very simple question to you guys about, let's say someone was wondering, and this is a very obscure topic to wonder about let's say whatever prisoners eat, how similar is it to what students eat, for instance? Okay, now it's a very obscure thing where it requires a little bit of research, a little bit of finding out, and then representing that data in a certain way. Is you could start listing down what prisoners eat. Okay. Is 2 to 4 ounces of meat, 3 to 4 cups of starch, 1 bread, some drinking item, some vegetables, and 1 fruit. This is one thing you can say about a prisoner diet. And let's say you put a slide like this, but there's still something that's missing. So let's say you do some more research and you say, Acha, roughly their meal has 1300 calories or 1400 calories, which is again a somewhat useful piece of information. And let's say you do some more research. Okay, even this isn't enough. Then maybe you can say that per plate, the amount that it costs the government, and this is all US data for instance, is say $2.62. This is a fair slide that you can show. Now, if you want to still build on this slide, of course you want to compare it with what students eat. So what you would do, most likely in this case, is do what you did right here for prisoners, for students as well. So let's say that we did something like that for students as well. So student eats 1.5 to 2 ounces of meat, 1 starch item, 1 bread item, 8 ounces of milk, and maybe half a cup of vegetable or fruit. And they have 1400 calories per meal and a cost per plate is say $2.68. Now there's 2-3 things that are still missing here. One thing that's missing is, well, we've still not compared the two things. We've seen what prisoners do, we've seen what students do, but we've not compared the two in this slide. So that's one thing we have to take care of. And then the second thing we have to take care of is then within this slide, we have to show people in a way that, well, students' food isn't that bad, at least. Prisoners' diet is very limited and typically considered to be bad, but students at least have a little more variety. But that variety right now isn't coming out. So let's say you want to somehow show that the students' food is also a little tastier. Right now there is no way to contrast it except putting a line on the text, a line of text on the slide itself. So let's say to bring out the comparison, you put them side by side to each other. And as typical Indian students, this is what we do. If they're asked, state 3 differences between A and B, what we do is we make a table. One column is A, one column is B, and then we list down 3 points. And with that format, effectively, if someone asks you the question, do prisoners eat like students? You'll have this. There's one thing missing here, which is the source. So let's say we add the source as well. So if somehow and some years from now, many of you will give presentations where you'll have to answer a question like this. This would be a typically good slide that you can make. And this brings out the comparison fairly well. But can we make this better? Can this information which you see on the screen right now, how can we make it more interesting to whoever will read it? And that's where something like an infographic can really help you. So let's say what happens if we break it down, the same information into an infographic. The same problem, which is do students eat like prisoners? That's been listed down. And then on one hand, instead of making a table with 3 points, you've divided the plate into 2 points. On the left, you have a prisoner with his orange cufflink, and on the right, you have a student with the funky bandit on his wrist. And now what all we've done is we've broken up the plate into those 6 items. So the 6 points you see here and here are listed down in visual forms. The calories go into one bubble on the side. So do the cost as well. You can add some more information now, because now that you have images, you have more space to play around with on the same slide. And the same information, for instance, you can also annotate it with, say, some incidents. Like there was this one incident on prison food which resulted in a lot of controversy. Something else here as well. But this essentially has made this slide a lot better. Now within this specifically, this is what an infographic does. And at this point, maybe you have a right, folks, to be skeptical. Yeah, it looks better, and maybe the information comes out better as well. But is there really a difference in how viewers see our content? And at least the large percentage of answer says yes. If you substitute the same information with an infographic, the amount of views and engagement you get is 2x, 94%. So that's roughly the same difference that you might have in, say, a Facebook post getting 50 likes and 100 likes, getting 100 likes and 200 likes, and the same amount of retweets. So all your content that you will provide, if there was a way to make it 2x effective, isn't this a good solution that you could try out? So that's the main motivation for why we use infographics as a substitute for text and slides. Now, in particular, within infographics, there's some things where I want to get your opinion and your insights also on. And that's more around, well, what makes an infographic good and what makes it bad. Okay, so on the next slide, what I'll try and do is I'm going to open an infographic for you. And I want you to think and tell me if that infographic, what's good about it and what's not so good about it. Because not all infographics look like this. Some infographics look like this. Some infographics still have a way to get there. Let's look at, say, this particular question. What is sleep apnea? The larger assumption is maybe 80-85% of people don't know what sleep apnea is. Okay. Let's say you have to introduce what sleep apnea is to a bunch of people. One way to do it is through a slide where you list down what sleep apnea does. But let's say you take the approach of an infographic to explain what sleep apnea actually does. Let's say one of the things you come up with is this. Take a look at this infographic. It's about a breathing problem that happens during sleep. So
do we have to answer? Can we answer?
Yeah, please, absolutely.
Yeah, it's too clumsy and the color combination is too bizarre for this. So, I mean, it's not presentable also. Even if the background was a bit, on a darker side as in on the lighter shadow, it would have been much more presentable than this.
Yes, Vishal. So colors, presentation, overall presentation, and background.
The fonts are not similar. The fonts of the question should be similar.
Correct. So a lot of different fonts. So there should be some sort of a structuring within these particular buckets. To be fair. So there is a visual, but it's not like the visual is really helping in understanding these things. Harshal, when I saw it, I thought, yaar, ye professional nahi hai. And just listing down almost everything you said. Look at this one. This is all of the same information, literally the same. There's not a change in text and words, put in a slightly better format. So the organization is better, the flow is better, it's a lot neater as well. Aesthetically pleasing colors, we mentioned that, mild colors as well. If you see there's 3 to 4 colors, then really if you think about it, there's blue and yellow. 2 colors and there's 2 fonts, Snoring and this, both of these are also essentially a similar font family. So there's literally just one. Very clear use of hierarchy. There's organization as well, snoring, and then you go right here. So there's an eye flow that goes as well. Infographics are also there in order to lessen the text. And the whole creative in general has a lot more breathing space. It's neater, it's more organized. And if you compare the two, for instance, like if all of us saw this post on, say, social media, for instance, if you saw the left one and if you saw the right one, like you would make two very different impressions about the creator. You would probably assume that the one on the right, the creator, was way more professional, and you'd actually spend more time on a creative like that as well. On the left, I think seeing so much at once, you would just immediately switch it off and go to the next post. One wanted to really bring out the distinction in good design and bad design. And for it, one very few simple tips for you to go over it. Use up to 2 fonts in 3 colors. Go for simple fonts instead of funky ones. Use sober colors instead of bright ones, and have breathing space. Every element on the page should have a particular purpose. But the most important thing for you folks as designers of hopefully really good infographics and presentations in the future is that once you make the creative, for 1 second step back and think carefully about how the reader will read it. Okay? Because once you see that, then the design itself will help you understand about how you should structure your post in the first place. There's this very famous quote by Elmore Leonard, a novelist. He's a very famous American novelist. And what he said, that if it sounds like writing, I rewrite it. It should sound more conversational, and now with the tools at your disposal, it should be way more visual. The text that anyone sees on screen should be less writing and more information. And we do think that infographics are a great way to achieve that. Now, before we close, just so that we get some sort of a sense of what else to fix, I wanted to run a very quick thing by you. And just so that our idea of good design has been drilled in, I wanted to run a very small exercise by you, and that is the poster. You came to this session looking at one poster. Now that poster is also an infographic, right? And while that infographic I think is generally one of our better ones, what do you think, for instance, we can do to make it more appealing? So I'll tell you, while this infographic is actually one of quite good, like one thing that I'm not super clear in, for instance, is the first font family, which is Learn to Spread Knowledge Through Our Webinar. I don't know, maybe I would have appreciated that a font that's slightly simpler, that's not italicized as well, because italics don't really help understanding this point.
Every font is in another way.
Also, I think there's some elements on this page, for instance, this round droplet sort of a thing, a circle.
Yeah, actually what we're getting now is a bit of the resolution is much lesser what you actually see. So this color combination is harder to read.
I do think there's a lot of elements here, like this droplet, the pink strings, the pink dots. So fair points. And I think through this you'll understand that, for example, even a well-made infographic, this can also be made better. Like for instance, this creative has been made by one of our star performers, which is Augusto. And Augusto actually won the 3rd version of our nationwide competition. So he's no beginner to design. But even good designers can improve their design by making it more organized. And that's something that we at Yoda are working on to improve relentlessly. So that's just some questions I wanted to leave you with. The one that we can strongly recommend by using it ourselves and by working with other content creators is an app called Canva.